I was hatched ready, my
Those of
friend.
you gathered here in Zoom and you know around the world, welcome to I think what might be the greatest open mic that ever happened on Monday, January 25th, 2021. And I'm about to introduce you to possibly the greatest host of an open mic that ever happened on January 25th, 2021, or January 25th, 2022, for that matter. Would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our all star who can sometimes go too far, Mr. Mike Langworthy.
Woo! I hear that. I don't know.
Well, now's a good time for the wardrobe change. It's your Mr. Rogers entrance.
I don't like having the zip up hoodie on while I'm performing because I don't want to be mistaken for someone trying to break into the Capitol building. It's not a good look for a man of my stature. I've been in the Capitol building. If I known you weren't supposed to kill anybody, I probably wouldn't have gone. I'm just I don't need to go into politics. I'm still concerned about that whole. There are no hip hop songs about the trials and tribulations of being in graduate school. I just don't. I don't understand why. Surely, there are some bitches and hoes at the Wharton School of Business. I mean, that's just.
Well, that's old school, Mike.
It's common. Well, it's Ivy League, yo.
Music is so different in the Ivy League. You know what they call Pete Townshend's group? The Whom. It's a different thing. It's a different mindset.
I had a friend who was at Harvard when the whole British invasion started, and the first thing they said was, that's not the first time the British have come over here. Like, you just think they know things that other people don't know. It's like, really, is that
what an insight?
Yes. And then the second thing, the correct pronunciation of that band is the Beatles. The Greek god of dissonance.
Yes. And the man who sentenced Jesus was Pontius Pilates. Most people don't know that.
It's true, they don't know it. He was well known as he was the limberest of all of the territorial governors during that period of time in the empire.
Oh yeah, he's all about the tone.
Yeah, he didn't go for bulk; he went for tone. That's that I believe is an opening line at gay bars all over the world. I'm not going for bulk; I'm going for tone.
I'll take your word for it, Mike.
You don't have to take my word for it. You can watch my films.
Oh boy.
Oh, hello. All of those. See what I'm saying is. Anyway, those of you who have been here before, welcome back. You have no one but yourselves to blame. We got that fucking guy from Romania again. No, but
where is he? I'm gonna kick his ass, dude. He made me so mad last time.
What a great intro.
I totally get that.
This next douchebag.
Whose voice I've never heard before. I'm with you. Anyway, what I try to do on these shows is create a lighthearted atmosphere by making myself feel good at the expense of the performers.
It's like a mission statement.
Well, stating it about the mission statement for sure, Ned. How did the delousing go after they shaved your head, by the way?
Mike?
No, what? Yeah, okay.
You know,
Get back to you a little later.
you know, people say these Nazi death camps were so awful, and I think in a lot of ways they were. But you'll notice they all had tattoo parlors, every single one of them. What's that about? They never mentioned that. Everybody got free ink.
Apparently, liar's poker was a big thing.
That was a big. You topped me again, Langworthy.
All right. So what I'm saying is,
the pot's up to 6 million.
I did. At this rate, COVID-19 is going to pissing down on the Holocaust.
I think this counts as Jessica's intro. What do you think? I think that's what this is.
Actually, guys, he started it yesterday. He's actually very on top of it this week.
We haven't even.
For a transcript of Jessica's intro.
But first, a short intermission.
Yes.
Her foundation. She's got a McCarthy for making corncob pipes. It's a really, really, really obscure reference, but if you get it, it's okay. So it's we started at 8 and I ran a couple minutes over. Why? Because I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It just felt like it. No, I felt like it. So we have at least one person who I do not know at all, and a couple of people who are still on the newer end of the comedy spectrum. So I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, somebody had.
That was a weird outburst.
Good point.
It sounded like James Longshore got cut off in the middle of something, but at any rate, fine.
That happens a lot.
Him and Lorena Bobbitt's husband. Just why? Why do you do it? Why? No, we don't need that. Nobody needs that. And I'm not even starting to introduce Jessica yet. You're not the first one.
That's how long my intro is.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have had to modify the time space continuum to fit it all in tonight. So if you'll all come back last week, you'll be able to hear the introduction to Jessica Misra. But first, here's a guy from California. I think he's Korean, right? I keep hearing like one word of somebody interrupting.
It's feedback. I think.
Yeah, we might have a little feedback from.
If anybody has 2 devices on, turn one of them off.
Sounds like we got it solved.
Okay.
Where were you headed to, Mike? Who did you want to start with?
I was meandering towards introducing Vishal Kalyanasundaram.
Just let's double check Vishal's sound.
Is it for me?
I don't think so. I think we've solved it.
Hello? Okay.
That should be great.
Okay.
I think we can go with Vishal, Mike. Sorry.
You don't think we can, or we can?
I do think we can. Sorry.
In that case, this guy showed up a few weeks ago. He's very funny, and I'm sure we'll all learn a little something from him as well. It's the only cross-cultural open mic headquartered in Parker, Colorado, on Monday evenings.
Boom!
That's our motto. You don't just laugh, you learn. I'm waiting for somebody who really is insecure to make up some t-shirts and send them to me as a freebie. Not that any of you should be taking any kind of hint. Misra is that's South Asian for hint.
I don't know if I've ever brought up my ethnicity.
Kalyanasundaram, if I said that correctly.
That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
So much.
long.
Thank you. This is the first time I've been referred to as culture. So thank you for that. Very flattering. I see we have 2 children on the mic. I don't know what's going on, but this is great. I'll do my dirtiest jokes for you guys. That's what the kids like. You can see I got my welcome to my home. I got my masturbation iPad set up right here. I didn't even bother to move it on my bed. This is how comfortable I've become.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I grew up in a very Asian area. My favorite thing was like Asian immigrants in the 90s would like move to this country and they'd want to give their kid like an American name, but they wouldn't know the culture. So they just pick like the most popular name in the 90s and be like, this is it. And like, that's how I end up going to school with like a skinny Japanese kid named Tupac Kurosawa. Or like a Chinese chick named Biggie Smalls Chang. I love the cutesy voice that women use, you know, when they're like, oh, like when they're talking to a baby or a dog. I think women need to use that voice more because it's very powerful, puts everyone at ease. Like I need a chick in bed to just be like, oh, does somebody have a erectile dysfunction? Does somebody's little dick not work? It's okay. It feels so much better. I'm very revealing. We're all very revealing as comedians, right? And that makes professional situations very tough for me. Like I had to give a presentation at work for my coworkers so we could all bond together and have to be about my whole life and shit. And it was impossible for me to not just start off with like first slide, a bullet point list of my traumas. First bullet, my boss and coworkers. Also at work, I noticed like whenever someone leaves, they will like send an email to the company and everyone will respond like, oh my God, it was such a pleasure working with you. And I'm like, yo, why don't people do that shit on the day-to-day? You know, like if you did that shit, I would never leave. Like I need everyone every day to be like, yo, it is currently a pleasure working with you. Best of luck on your existing endeavors. Cool. All fun new stuff. Fox News is dying. I never thought I'd be sad about Fox News dying though, because conservatives are moving over to like, you know, even crazier shit like Newsmax and OAN and stuff. And I don't know, this feels to me like when we thought we beat Al Qaeda and then fucking ISIS popped out and started chopping people's heads off. And I was like, yo, I'll take the people that jacked a plane. I don't know if there are conservatives in this room. I don't know if I alienated half the crowd, but sorry about that, guys. These are my woke takes.
You know who you are.
Just the paying customers. Don't worry about it.
Just the
Sorry,
sponsor.
Jack.
Oh, see, what Chuck's trying to say there is that conservatives are the ones that make all the money. Those are lazy fucks.
They
Sorry,
don't buy
Jack.
art. They don't buy art, Vishal. You're all right.
I love it.
It's horrible.
This is not worth paying for it. Don't worry. My- Chuck, please book me again. I'm sorry. Oh, you guys ever notice how there's like a fucking billion stores named Happy Donuts and they're not a chain? That's crazy to me. How is one not trying to rise up and like take over the other ones? Like if I owned a Happy Donuts, I would just be like, I'm going to establish a corporate Happy Donuts monopoly. And I would have like an employee just be like, that doesn't seem very happy. And I'd be like, well, now this is fucking unhappy donuts. There's no happiness in capitalism.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get him.
Sorry, Jack. It was my birthday recently. I think birthdays suck when you get older, though, because they're never as fun as when you were a kid. That is why next year I am throwing myself a party at Chuck E. Cheese. So see y'all in the ball pit. Despite of the next pandemic.
Be interesting, you in a ball pit with a bunch of children.
Yeah.
I see you at your arraignment.
Was that the light? I don't know.
Oh, no.
That wasn't me talking wasn't the light.
Keep going. Keep going. Please.
I thought it was
Mike,
like
wrap it up.
to wrap it up. I think it's interesting. Like my parents and I, we've switched roles as we gotten older. Like last year for my birthday, they asked me for a loan to buy a house. They asked me for a $20,000 loan, which is crazy. Like I am the only guy that lost that much money on his birthday that was not at a strip club in Vegas. Also, I'm not saying this as a flex. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money. I'm just very cheap. I save a lot, which sucks because I'm also very horny. And you never see a guy that's good with ladies that also clips coupons. Like, never go to a restaurant with me because you'll just be like, oh man, this menu looks so good. I'll get whatever I want. And I'll be like, well, babe, the deal is only for one bloomin' onion. So we're going to split that. It also sucks being frugal when you're dating because girls say they want a responsible guy, but they only want to be responsible after they lock it down. But when you're dating, like girls are always like, I want a meal that costs a 401k. You best be financially irresponsible with me. It sucks. Yeah, I loaned my mom the money, and then 6 months later, she had the nerve to look at my bank account and tell me I needed to save more money. And I'm like, motherfucker, I would if I was not your goddamn bank. They borrowed this money to buy a house, and I think it's bullshit that I cannot afford to buy a house, but I have somehow been bamboozled into giving out a mortgage. All right, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
You're the man. Woo!
Vishal, ladies and gentlemen, will be foreclosing on his parents soon. You're all going to want to see that. It's going to be tough. You know where they bring the big check? He's going to bring, like, from, you know, a big contract that says, this is the line you didn't comply with. Smile. All right.
Pretty sweet, though, having your parents move into your basement. That'd be the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
And
So
you could
awkward.
make them masturbate.
By the way,
Find them smoking weed.
I have no shame. I am accepting all these as tags.
That's why we're here.
Right, yeah, that's
Anything we could do to help you out. Rearrange the letters on your last name. Anything?
Oh boy.
Former. It comes to us actually from Romania, and he's not that guy that I was thinking of. Very nice guy. Works there as an actor. So this is what it likes. This is what it looks like to actually be somewhat making a living in show business. It means emigrating to an Eastern European country. Round of applause for James Longshore, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody. With that introduction, how can I not disappoint? All right, I got 2 laughs. What I love about Zoom is the math of it. 2 laughs equals 5 people laughing on the inside. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? You know, it's a new year, and so there was like this new thing. When I signed in, Zoom said, by this meeting is being recorded. By joining this meeting, I am consenting to being recorded, which is like, you know, when you call the bank and they say, you know, you consent to being recorded for quality control, and then there's like no quality to the call. No, but I just think that all disclaimers should say, are you stupid? Then don't do this. Like, you know, that joke needs more context. I should probably build more around that joke and get back to you guys later. Will you be around? I don't know.
Yeah, just come back, pop on in an hour. If you don't see anybody, get stuff.
Talk to myself like I normally do. It'll be normal. I feel like telling my coup jokes. I have a whole bunch of coup jokes, but
Cool,
I
man.
also have like a whole set I planned for tonight, and now I'm riffing. Like, what am I doing? Jeez, you know, it reminds me like I have a new New Year's resolution. Like it's okay, right? All of January, I'm allowed to like figure out my New Year's resolution. January 1st isn't the deadline, right?
No,
Right?
no.
Thank you. We're here to laugh, people. Why are we laughing?
No, we're all going. We're doing comedy laughing. You say something, and we go, "Good, it's good."
It's like jazz.
So supportive. These Zooms are so supportive. That's what I love about them.
Yeah, just-
Anyway, so I have a New Year's resolution now that Biden has taken over this whole like making America great again thing. I am trying to make James great again
yeah.
this year. How about that? The problem is like to be great again, you have to have been great. All right. Anyway, look, guys, forgive me. I'm turning 43 this year, and I should be having a midlife crisis right now, but I did the math on that, and I do not want to die at 86, you know? So I'm just going to put it off for a while, if you guys don't.
It's a good idea, man.
You know, I don't feel old, like, at all, but I do feel old when I'm, like, with, having a conversation with a comedian, and...
No, he froze.
Man.
We got a double.
Yeah.
Is that feedback coming from him, too, by the way?
It's a new bit he's doing.
I'm searching for the source of the feedback.
You guys all froze.
Oh, he's back. Oh my.
Everybody's not upset with Johnny. Oh.
It is so funny how my internet connection is unstable. That is so funny. Hey, did you guys hear about the
You mean your neighbor, right?
The what?
Did you hear about the illiterate comedian?
No.
He couldn't read the room.
You've been writing.
Then that's a good place to end. I had a whole set on like about feeling old, and then like dead celebrities from last year. Like,
do it next
you
Monday.
guys are missing out, man. Next time, I promise. Next time.
Do it next week. Come in next week and do it. You know what?
All
I'll be
right.
just dead.
Kind of a technical
Big
jumble.
deal.
Kind of a technical jumble. But if you got a prepared set, word of the
There
wise.
will be this delay next week, right? Because like this delay, I don't know. I can't.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but we're not experiencing the delay.
Oh.
So,
It must be the time difference because I'm in Romania. That's what it is. Oh.
Those weird Romanians.
Oh.
with their internet.
take 6 hours to find out what you said tonight.
It's insanity.
Anyway, great job.
Didn't land yet. We have to wait. Time difference.
Yes, we have to wait for the time difference. All right. Anyway, James, I'm sorry we got technically fucked up. Come again next week. Do your set. Do whatever you want. Riff. I don't care. But we fucked you up this week, and I'd like to make it right.
Called hazing.
Unfortunately, it's not in my power to give you talent. What? Why would I say that? Come on. I kid because I love. I kid because you're a way to shoot me. All right. So anyway, our next performer is we're very privileged to have on.
No, I'm next.
No, we are. We're very privileged to have you on this, your last night
Show business.
report to Jackson Prison. Welcome. welcome the newly tonsorially challenged Ned Rice, please.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike noticed before the show I'm wearing the insurrection look. It looks better with the helmet and the horns. Believe me, it looks a lot better. But at least I have hair. I'm not one of those bald guys who shaves his head because he's going bald. That's what when you do that, you're saying to your hairline, you can't quit. You're fired. So at least I still have some of this. I had a weird day today, folks. I got pulled over, not in my car. It's, you know how all the supermarkets have one-way aisles now because of COVID. I was going the wrong way in the cereal aisle. The assistant manager pulls me over. They're always dicks. You know why I pulled you over? Fruit Loops is on sale? What? No. I need to see your shopping list, your coupons, and your shopper card, please. So he let me off with a warning. I almost made a break for it on the electric horsey at the front of the store, but they always that's always fucking And it was lucky though. I could have gotten 30 days in the cart corral. So I guess that's exciting news today. Joe Biden's administration is going to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. It's about time. I'm a big Harriet Tubman fan. She may have had narcolepsy, but she was pretty woke in my book. And you see, narcolepsy is an illness that makes you fall asleep. Okay.
Yeah.
Not really. Okay, that's good. But I'm so impressed. She actually to actually build a railroad underground, like the technological challenge of that in the 1800s. It's just amazing. But the thing about her on the $20 bill, I think it's about time. But according to the Treasury Department, if any money with a woman's name on it is only worth about 70% of what it would be if a man's face was on it. So the Harriet Tubman $20 bill will be worth about $14. But still, I still think that's progress. I still think that's a wonderful thing. And I stand alone in that. I'm the only person who thinks that. I was talking to my lovely girlfriend tonight. She's the love of my life. And but she's full of advice. She wants me to be more mindful. She wants me to live in the moment and be present. And I said, boy, that takes me back. I remember. You see, if I was being mindful, I never would have said that. You see, so much of this is about irony. Let's start over. I got a haircut. No. It reminds me of my dad's advice. When I was a little kid, he said, Ned, don't ever let another man tell you what to do. And I said, you mean like you just did that? Like, is this one of those things? Everything I say is a lie? Or you mean going forward? He said, oh, get me a beer. And I said, Dad, you just did it again. Oh, come on. Why not get me a beer? I don't know, Dad, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's Christmas Day. Mom's crying. Those are some of my reasons. So that was Dad's advice. He had a homespun view on things that it's not something you hear every day. Sorry, what?
He was wise in his ways.
I don't know what to do with that, Mike, but thanks. Thanks for throwing that into the my girlfriend is
Break the silence.
there you go. My girlfriend is very much into women's rights and as am I. And she's upset with Disney for creating unrealistic expectations for young girls in their movies and their cartoons. For example, Cinderella. What is Cinderella's goal in life? She wants to go to a ball with Prince Charming and go dancing in slippers made of glass. Does that sound dangerous? Yes, like, honey, I made you these shoes. They're made of glass. Let's go dancing. Like, that sounds like the worst idea that I think that I've ever heard. And my girlfriend is really into astrology. And I'm so skeptical. I know that's a Scorpio thing, but I just don't buy into it. I don't even know if I believe in astronomy, frankly. I think it's unlikely that star in the sky is another planet. I don't think so. I find myself, it's hard for me to believe that. So let's see, where else was I going to go tonight? I think I'm just tired. You ever hear about people get hospitalized for exhaustion? It usually happens in Hollywood. Has that ever happened to anyone here? Honey, I'm so tired. I've never been so tired in my whole... Call an ambulance, quick. Hours later, you're in the waiting room. Yes, we ruled out heart disease. We ruled out diabetes. It turns out your husband is exhausted, and he's having a nap now. We read him a story. We got him a glass of water. We checked under the bed for monsters, and he's going to be okay. That'll be $40,000. That's the thing I miss most about Hollywood. And with that, I will turn it back over to Mike. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Usually he ends that $40,000 joke with "Thanks, Obama," but he just thought it was.
Go again? Can I go again?
It's inappropriate this week.
Can I go again?
Ned is long time friend, first time caller.
Because I just got a phone.
He's very funny. Please, those of you who are first time, don't judge by this evening. Again, why? Last night I was so depressed after the show because I made all of these appalling remarks about people, and people laughed and thought it was really funny because I just laughed on the guy who thinks he's so smart. But then I realized you're just insulting your friends, man. Maybe you want to give that a think, an old thinkaroo. I don't know. The guy who asked me that was an idiot anyway, so who cares? Anyway, no, it wasn't you, Ned.
You just did it again, Mike. You just did it again.
I wish your father had told me never let a man tell you what to do before I went to the men's room at the bus station that one time. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
That would cost you a 12-ounce.
All right, our next performer
Mm-hmm.
is as much of a surprise to me as you. We met just briefly before the show. I've never performed comedy. Welcome to. I'm certainly looking forward to a warm welcome. And I forgot to tell people that I have this timer that goes off. I hope you can hear the beeping at 4 minutes, and then you have another minute to wrap up. So. Unless I am so obnoxious that I interrupt in the wrong time. But I probably won't do that with this guy because he's new. Anyway, his name is Aneas Herrera, and I wish you would give him a big round of applause. Thanks. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, Mike, don't worry. Just like I said to my partner, I only need 2 minutes. How's everyone doing tonight? All right, let me give a little second. Let's have Vishal's room stop shaking, then I'll start my set. All right. Yeah, you know what? I started watching the Smurfs the other day with my little cousin. You guys know the Smurfs, those blue little freaks?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like they'll run around and sing a lot of songs. Well, they're all named after traits for some reason. You got Brainy Smurf, he's a smart one. You got Handy Smurf, he likes to jerk off a little too much. Then you got Clumsy Smurf, smoked a little reefer before hanging out with everyone. But then you got Smurfette. I was thinking to myself, why is she just called Smurfette? Well, maybe it's because women aren't supposed to have personalities. No, I'm just kidding. It's coming from a guy with not a lot of personality myself. See how scared I got after saying that joke? Comedy.
Gotta stick to your guns, man.
Sorry. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Really good.
Yeah.
This is some filler time. It's good to see you all.
Way to work the room.
Thank you. This is my first and most likely last online show. The audience is great here. I'm used to doing it in front of no one anyways, so this is not too scary.
It's all right, man.
Sorry, I'll let you heckle. Yeah, go ahead. Nothing. Okay, I'll go back to my story.
I get it. Now I'm gonna go.
There's always something special about first times, like my first time doing this show. And like the first time you have sex. You learn a lot about yourself. you know, and I'm gonna tell you guys about the first time I had sex.
Yay.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. Ooh, tough crowd. The first time I lost my virginity was in high school. Believe it or not, it was in high school. Which you know, kind of like it was last year. Don't worry, it wasn't last year. I've been graduated for a couple years, even though it looks like I'm still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember it like it was just yesterday. You know, I picked her up, took her to the movies. You know, I put my arm around her, then went to dinner. We had a good time. Everything was perfect, you know. Then we went back to my place. You know, my parents weren't there. And, you know, it was time. I got excited. I unwrapped the condom, and boom, it was done. And that's when I found out I was gay. Thank you. The first time I told that story, it was on stage, and I actually wasn't out. And I told it in front of my dad, my uncle, my grandpa. Got a lot of laughs from everyone but my dad, my uncle, my grandpa. I don't know, which is weird because it's like my uncle knew, you know. He's the one who told me. Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys all have a good night.
Big finish.
Sure. Good job, man.
Oh, that was tough. Thank you guys.
Really, I enjoy having new people here, and there's going to be several other people tonight that have not been doing comedy for terribly long time. Is what I'm trying to say. Badly, but I'm saying it. At any rate,
wrap it up.
His time is up. And there's his time.
You know what? I'm casting pearls before swine here. That's all I can say. Our next performer is someone who, well, I can't quite get enough of introducing her. Apparently. She's a very funny lady from Chicago. I know you know her. And her name is
Mike. Excuse me for a moment. When you say very funny, do you mean like extremely funny, or
you know, I put down the popcorn, Chuck, and you made me pull it back up.
I go right at the last second. I jumped right back to this.
You're a cop all of a sudden.
It's my favorite joke. This is I've been loving this for weeks.
Because see, the thing is, this is basically for Aeneas because he's the only one who's never been here before. But apparently, I take a tremendous amount of time introducing Jessica every week, and today I was trying to do it really quickly. And a lot like.
And you know what's ironic? She needs no introduction. None.
I'm almost done with the bowl.
Oh, it's all right.
Sorry to break it to you, Mike.
I want to break out some more popcorn because apparently everybody has something to say. I was just a little like the Aeneas story, and it turns out one of his biggest laughs was on a true statement. The first time I lost my virginity. It was at least.
Dude, I remember the second time I lost my virginity. That was way better.
Yes.
Okay.
Good to know. See, we learned so much about each other this way. It's just, like
I literally just heckled my own.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Nevertheless, just as a goof, I decided to start the timer when I started the introduction. So everybody clap. All right. Anyway, Jessica Rosenberg, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
Yeah.
I truly am almost done with this popcorn, and it was full.
Looks like there's a lot of butter in that popcorn.
It's mostly butter and nutritional yeast. It's the thing my mom does. If you haven't tried it, do it. And actually, this is what this set has been sponsored by nutritional yeast. Okay, since we're doing dirty jokes, I actually have them. You know, because I found out this like girl from my high school, instead of having sex, which would displease our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, she is putting she's having her boyfriend put his penis in between her butt cheeks, quite like a hot dog, and just kind of dunking it. You know, just like swiping it like a card that won't read. You know, just like
How is that not sex?
I was gonna say it's not that bad.
Oh man, this is I read the room completely wrong. I should have been like, this is a room of butt virgins. I don't know.
Oh, I wouldn't say
Definitely
that.
not me.
Oh, what?
Experience right here.
Okay.
Well, I'm here.
I don't know what to call it.
Take the room back, Jessica. Don't let
Yeah. This isn't a green room.
You know what it is? It looks like an Amish boy churning butter. You know, he's like, I can't believe it. And I can't imagine that God is looking down from heaven being like, good job. That is exactly what I meant. High fives to my favorite virgins. You guys know how to wait. All right. The two youngest boys did high five me, and that was rhetorical. That was a rhetorical virgin high five. But I love how open and honest everyone's being.
Well, if you can re-virginize yourself, we can too.
Stick together.
I'm just trying to make it as a woman.
Welcome to the Disney Podcast.
But you know, it's a confusing question. It's like, how long do you make love to someone's butt cheeks before you propose? You know, is it 3 years? Is it 1? You know, I feel like these are questions I never would have had to ask myself. And you know, he's in the locker room and his boys are talking about anal, and he goes, "Which one?" Like, Jesus Christ, dude! It's like so much information. You know, it's like when people are fucking, it's cool. But when you talk about oral, everyone's like, was that Ned? Was I boring Ned? Dude. Ned, okay, now that he's muted, this is the perfect chance.
I'm
every
muted.
day after Ned's head cut, he like couldn't look more like a dead vice president. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
Like, he looks like his wife drags him to the PTA meeting, you know, and he like rolls his eyes. All right. I thought of those roasts and anyway.
Thank you.
So Kanye has a new album. You know, it's kind of a Christian gospel album, and my Catholic mother hates it. So that makes me ask, who was it for? Because Kanye fans didn't like it, and my mom hated it. So I think he just made an album for no one. That's my Kanye take. I think depression is an interesting thing. It can kind of like make you pretty bitter. You know, I remember when I was doing pretty bad, I looked at boomers and I was like, wow, I wish I had their open-minded attitude. Yeah. That's a bad sign. That's when you need to like look inward.
If only I could.
If only you would look outward, you know what I mean? Ayo. I feel like I'm trying too hard to roast him right now.
It happens.
You know, okay, here's a good one. Here's a little hot women be different bit than men. So incels is like a term for men that really hate women. Do you know what the term for women that hate men is? Yeah, there is no term. Or we just call them women. If you're at the office, and like a man is complaining about his wife, you're like, ugh. But if a woman is complaining about her husband, you're like, this woman is down to earth and with a great sense of humor. Like, I love what she's about. I like men. I think they're great. You know, now I'm reading the room. And I think they're great, but sometimes it's frustrating because you guys will shit on women for being basic. And it's like, look, everybody wants to celebrate a birthday month, okay? Like, you know, It's like you get mad at us for reading our horoscope out loud, but then, you know, the first thing out of your mouth is, but what's mine? And it's like, I don't know, but you'd be a killjoy. Okay, I'm gonna end on this. A lot of people on the internet have been calling you, if you like disagree with their conspiracy theory, they'll be like, oh, you're an overeducated sheep. And I feel like an overeducated sheep is probably just as smart as the average person. Right? Like yeah, it's like, all right, you know, not an insult. Anyway, that has been my time. It's always a pleasure.
Bye, bye.
I'm so glad I didn't record this.
Mike.
Mike, you're still
Don't
muted.
tell him. Don't tell him.
Okay. Hope you for the better.
You need to unmute your microphone, Mike. Thank you.
Muting. I was planning on talking throughout the rest of the show without unmuting myself.
That would be open mind.
Yeah, well, I'm a boomer, so I have an open mind.
Oh.
Okay, boomer. I don't know. I really don't. Can't remember what I was going to do next. I mean, I'm going to introduce another act, but I was going to say something funny, but why bother? Jessica got all the laughs. So.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. You know, it's okay. On any given night, anybody can be funnier than me. I get that. I would have lost a lot of money if there was betting on it tonight, but that's all right. See, again, why do I do that? Because it's so easy. That's why. I'm sorry. No, and I actually am sorry. See, since I didn't spend an hour introducing Jessica, and I have to spend an hour on it, it's a zero-sum game. I do a postlude. Anyway, our next performer is Evan Smyth. And Evan Smyth is a lovely man that I think you'll all enjoy watching do comedy. Clapping would be appropriate at this point.
Thank you. Hi. Yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks. Our apartment building raised our rent, and so we had to seriously consider moving. We chose not to. It was a tricky decision, but we do love our neighborhood, and our friend with the truck is immunocompromised, and so he couldn't help out. And we just felt this wasn't the best time for us to move. We have considered moving out of state, though, in the next few years. We don't know where yet. We're both liberal, and we sort of joked about moving to a red state to try to flip it blue. After the Civil War, this was called carpetbagging, but now it's just called moving closer to my in-laws. I'm from New England and originally, and so we're thinking about moving there. We were talking about it, and my wife was worried about it being a little too cold, but when we were talking about it, we were at a brewery outside in January, so I don't think we should be too worried about it. But my parents still live in New England, and I've never really realized the politics of marriage. Like, I know there's a lot of gridlock in Congress, but I don't have too much sympathy for them because they didn't have to work out which side gets the first post-COVID Christmas. Speaking of politics, we had the inauguration last week. That was exciting. It went off without a hitch. I am surprised Trump did not resign beforehand and make Mike Pence our 46th president. Not because it would be the right thing to do or because everyone really wanted him to, but we all know that Trump is very petty. And we also know that Biden had already bought all the 46 memorabilia. We had a friend staying with us a few weeks ago. Their roommate had been traveling. They hadn't gotten tested yet. And I think we've all been in the situation where a friend just stays at your place for too long. For me, it's about past 10 p.m. But I'm a bit more introverted and I'm not used to, long-term guests. So when my wife said, pretend it's like when you live with your roommates in college, I thought that was good advice and I moved out. And I kept the security deposit.
Nice.
My older brother is getting married. I'm very excited for him. I got married last year, and we don't have to talk about the politics of that. But I'd mentioned a few times here that we had planned this whole wedding, and then COVID interrupted it. And now my future and sister-in-law is saying, "How can I ever plan a wedding during COVID?" And I thought I had some tips for you all in case you ever find yourself in the situation. Tip number 1: invite everyone you know. And then uninvite 90% of them 1 month beforehand. Tip number 2, pay your caterer in full up front, but then be sure to be very polite when you ask for all of your money back. And tip number 3, just don't. Don't get married during COVID. It's a bad idea. I'm trying to drink less this month. I think a lot of people are doing dry January, which is good. It's healthy. It saves money. It gives you another excuse not to socialize. But I've noticed an interesting phenomenon, and that is I stopped drinking on the 1st, and then a few days went by, and I still felt, a little tired, a little groggy, and then didn't drink for another few days, but I still felt a little tired, a little groggy, and didn't drink for another few days, and I realized that's just how I am. Should probably look into that. Thank you guys. I've been Evan Smyth.
My friend Evan Smyth, who just found out that he's clinically depressed while he was doing stand-up tonight.
Your friends, Mike. Your friends.
These are my friends, James. They'd stab me in the back like that. They weren't talking. At any rate, Evan is wonderful, and I like him. And,
yeah, me too.
You do too. Still, I don't understand. It's like this is the haunted show tonight. I keep like weird ass noise that comes on at the same time as the other person does. What's the nutritional yeast about, Jessica? Is that supposed to make it taste better, or just?
Yeah, so it's it's like got a cheesy flavor, but it's like vegan.
You have such an infectious laugh.
Mike, that's a weird way to pick up chicks, dude.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate the advice.
Oh, I think I just got it.
Got what?
That's supposed to make it taste better. You see, that's a weird way to pick up chicks. I'm talking about the popcorn, Norton.
Norton. That's good.
Norton,
That's
all right.
a viral thing?
No. Our next performer who who's one of my favorites on the show, has not let me know in advance. Oh, it looks like it's Oog. Then Oog, son of Og, is going to be performing. No business. Everything about it is appealing. Oog, son of Og. 3 graduate degrees for this. Is going to be performing now. Please welcome, if you will, Oog, son of Og.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunda gondede hunde ana bu tata papa. Yeah. Yeah. Hunde digede ondade endande gondede va. Yeah. Hunde digede manda vanda. Hedebe, Honeyganebe, Hedebe, Odigume, Hundredaba, Hundredabanda, Hembede, Oh, Yama, Udodokatanda, Ya, Hundredakanda, Yama. Oh, yeah. Hundred, hundred nambanda. Oh, kanda danga de. Yeah. Hundred da. Danda de moda. Hundred de bedudo. Hiya. Hayo. Oh, kanda dadama. Danga de bodo. Danga de bedubodo. Danga bedubodo. Danga bedu. Dadabodo, hundredabodo, hundredabodo. Yeah. Nandadanga, hundred benefit. Holy, dundada, yeah. And now I'm going to do my poem called Oh My Soul. Oh, my soul is a black hole, black as coal, a black hole, sucking my soul into a bowl of quantum particle despair. Yeah. I laugh until I cry, I sigh until I lie, upon the wet clothes that I dry, upon the line strung between the stars. Dig in. Oh, danga. Yeah. Hondigadibe. Hondadadabada. Oh. Yeah. Holy Gandhi. Ole, Kanigua, Didi, Gonda Didida, Odida, how did it? Rigarita, Ya, Ganda de, Ya, Undidi, Holy Gadidi, Dida, Ya, Didi, Ya, Didi, Holy Dundabunda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hundred holiday, hundred gande December, Dundee, da, gande, da.
That was a really weird impressions of James. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
I love the poem. That poem, by the way, was done by Grog Ferlinghetti originally. So be sure that you recognize that. And all these.
Ed makes me wish I believed in evolution.
Does it?
Ed does.
I think
So
every
much better.
day has happened before. So it's like a big Mobius strip of time and space, man.
Oh, okay.
Mobius.
Oog, son of Og would agree with me. But we don't. And so, what are you going to do? Our next performer, also a regular here on Monday nights, and also one of my favorites because he always does things that are thought-provoking. You know, ordinarily, that's not what a comic wants to hear just before they're. But the fact that he's funny is a given. So please put your hands together. Or snap your fingers in case you missed that on the beatnik bit. Or Sukumar Vijayaraghavan.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
Woo! Woohoo!
You're
He's
muted.
Hey, Mike.
muted.
Okay, so an irritating habit with Indians is that if a guy is about 10 years younger than you or more, he'll start calling you uncle. And that's very irritating and offensive if you have uncles like I do. When I was little, my mom said, no, don't play with yourself. God is watching. And I didn't know about God, but I definitely knew Uncle Raj was watching. And so last week when this Indian guy at the grocery store came up to me and said, Uncle, are you in line? And the guy must be about 40, So I snapped. So I said, is your mother my sister? And he said, no. I said, then don't call me uncle. Besides, I don't want to be accused of incest. So a more irritating thing happened to me a couple of months ago when I was doing a show up in Erie. And after me was this Indian comedian who must be in his 30s. And he kept calling me his dad throughout his set. And, I know that it's chronologically possible. And I also know that if you take one look at me, you know that I'm a player. But it irritated me nonetheless. And then I got to thinking, Colorado is not big enough to have two Indian comedians. There are only so many brown skin and racism jokes to go around. So I proposed to him that we stake out our own territories. So I get Denver and the Front Range, and he gets, Boulder, where he is from, and comedy meccas like Leadville and Nederland. So that way we avoid conflict, because I don't want us to get into a conflict. Then, the family gets involved, and then the whole community gets involved. And before you know, you might start what would be known to historians as the Great Indian Wars. You have the Mountain Indians and you have the Plains Indians. And the Mountain Indians are the fierce lot. They come down in their Broncos and Mustangs, and they raid the Indian Trading Post, also known as Bombay Bazaar, and they run off with all the nouns and papadums without paying for them, right? So, then there was this time where a Denver, a Plains Indian guy married a Mountain Indian girl, and they didn't pay any dowry for them. So that was that caused a lot of friction. But I think the biggest friction came when one day the Mountain Indians raided the plains and then took off with our year's supply of cow urine, which, if you know, has a lot of medicinal purposes. I know this is a Zoom, but I can feel the judgment coming through my screen. I know you're saying, what uncivilized people thinking cow urine has medicinal purposes, but the same thing happens here too. Think about it. If you have old people, who have terminal illness or incurable stuff, what do you do to them? You put them in hospice care, right? So I ask you, what's the difference between a cow piss or a hospice? So don't judge. White people have always been unfair to Indians. I know many years ago when you gave us blankets soaked in chicken tikka masala, and if you really knew that, you should know that chicken tikka masala is not an Indian dish. though that's the most popular thing people ought to hear. It was developed by a Scottish guy in Glasgow. So I think white people have been really unfair, and I think we need some reparations. So no, just a few 7-Eleven stores won't do the trick. Okay? but the nice thing about this this scenario is that the Cleveland Indians would be politically correct finally, though the Redskins will still be on their own. Thank you.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
My question is unfair or merely strict? That's the question. We never get the credit that we deserve for bringing racism to so many underdeveloped nations.
We offered the world order.
It's true.
And then later a new world order. And for some reason, people hate us. I don't get it.
That's a line from Star Trek, so I stand by it.
No, you can stand. Sure, that's fine. I'm sure everybody here that spends
Wrong.
researching Star Trek will be satisfied about that. No, it's all right. It's okay. Everybody's been funnier than me tonight, and I just don't know how to deal with that.
After a while, you'll get used to it, Mike.
Fortunately, we just have one more act and then Chuck, so
Yay!
at least it'll end on a note that'll make me a little proud. I want to welcome it's for Aeneas, who found out he was gay. It's like he opened an envelope. It was like on the inside of the condom case. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're hard. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is our next performer hasn't been doing comedy for a tremendous length of time himself. Also funny and talented. Please welcome Cesar Sauce.
Woo!
Hey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Usually I'll say something funny and people would laugh before I start my set, but sorry, guys, it's been a rough day. You know what I really hate? When people throw trash in the middle of the road. That sucks. Because my parents had the decency to put me in a trash can at an early age, and I don't see what that's a problem with, But here in California, it's normal to recycle, so I don't know. They could have been better parents, Yeah. So my dad, he wasn't around in my life for much of the time. He took a lot of trips to Mexico, and for a moment I thought he was in the cartel. I was like, Dad, what's that AK doing in your truck? I was like, that's nothing. I was like, okay, that's nice. Maybe some business trips. So I took a trip to a movie theater, not before, like right now in COVID, obviously, but once I got there, I went into the snacks and saw that the popcorn was $49.99. And out of anguish and frustration, I decided to rob the plate. No, I'm kidding. But when I finally got to watch the movie and got the popcorn drinks, I realized I was the one being robbed, Sorry to get all racial here, but I really think there's a problem with walk signs. I think there's a whole story by itself. It's like the red man, stop, this is our land. It was like the white man, come on, honey, let's go stay on land. I was like, no, this is not your land. This is not your land. Please get out of here. It's so weird. I don't know. Out of all the things, walk signs are the most racist,
No.
Fascinating interpretation of walk signs, by the way. I just
Adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to throw that in there.
Thanks, Mike. But I do go on walks, I do go on walks, and I found that trees really want our attention nowadays, It's just like, oh my God, maybe for the beginning of the year, I should get some green highlights. Wouldn't that be nice? I was like, okay. And summer comes along. Oh, it's a delayed laughs. Oh man. And then let's be in Albania. So in the summer comes along. Okay. So when summer comes along, I'm just gonna repeat this joke over and over, Mike. What are you doing? Okay, so summer comes along. Then they'll be like, oh my God, maybe I should get some apples. Wouldn't that be nice? Acorns. I was like, okay. And then fall. Fall is when they actually turn to redheads out of the pure just coincidence. You know? You would never expect that. But like, and in December, I want to be a rebel and shave it all off. Like, that's so weird, man. I don't get it.
It's more sincere than it sounds. I've laughed many times, Cesar, and that's more sincere than it sounds.
Sleep apnea is a killer.
I started getting into my Coke addiction. Don't worry, it's just a drink. And I've been seeing, but I don't believe that they stopped using cocaine, you know, because I always keep shaking every time I get a can. And people are saying, Cesar, it's just the sugar. I don't know what's the problem. No, it's not. You can't tell with the naked eye, you know? They're lying to you. Who can you trust? Pepsi, that's what you can trust. I am advertising for Pepsi. No. Guys, I want to ask you a question. It's very serious. Is it the 3-leaf clover or is it a 4-leaf clover that's lucky? I actually Googled that, and turns out it's the same amount of brain cells I have for thinking what's real. 3.5. No. You want to have a campfire? Just sit along, have a nice, relaxing thing. Not talking. What's going on?
That's a delayed silence you're hearing.
Sorry, I was just feeling cozy. I needed some warmth.
Right.
I've been going down YouTube rabbit hole, and I really like John Lennon now. You know, he's really the best supporting husband ever. You know, when you're staring at a grown-up crying like a toddler and calling it music, I think you really just gotta top it off with that. You know, it's just. And then after saying that, it's just like, I think it's creative. I think it's just amazing what people can do with art. I was like, no, that's just weird. You're going through misery right now, and you're not trying to show it off to people, you know? For Christ's sake, I think the gunman was just trying to do you a favor. That's all. You know?
Whoa! Wow.
We met at an alley. It was just like, see, you just point this at me, shoot me, and then say you hate hippies. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Guys, I have a problem. I really have to do something. I have to break it to white supremacists that Jesus was actually Jewish. It's gonna be hard. They're poor souls, you know. I actually tried it, and they're like, really? Pass me those tissues. And I'll be like, okay, here you go. Those are my robes. Get out of here. Yeah. That's actually a conversation I had with my orthodontist. You know, no wonder my teeth are so white. You know, good job. We need more white supremacists as dentists. They're good at doing what they love doing. That's my time. Thanks. I'm Cesar.
Yay!
Made it feel like a family reunion.
I want to acknowledge a bold move, man. You do a comedy suicide bit about the most beloved pop in the country.
No Bill Hicks.
My book, buddy.
It's not hack.
No, it's not hack. And yet, you know, he's He's dead, and fucking McCartney is still beating. Oh well. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What I have to say is, and Neil Diamond is still going strong. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
But where's Rod Stewart? Where is he?
Rod Stewart is
He's in Malibu.
he's in a lab somewhere having his blood drawn every half hour for COVID vaccine, because whatever's in his blood can cure anything. Because if all of the people that he's been with and all of the drugs that he's done in his life haven't killed him, he's immune to everything.
He is patient zero.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's been on patient zero during the AIDS crisis. That's how it started. Oh, come on, man. Why do you go like that? There's no reason for it. Our next performer is also the producer of the show, and I'm not saying he has influence over who gets on and when they get on, but it would be in everyone's best interest to find the next 5 minutes really funny. But it won't be hard because he's so talented. Everything he says is going to be hilarious. Please welcome, if you will, Chuck Roy, ready to kill me.
Yay!
Thanks, Mike. You're right. We are looking for a new host. Not even true. That's funny because it's not true.
Oh.
It's a day about love, Mike.
All about
I've
love.
been thinking.
My mother was born the day after Valentine's Day, and I always thought there might be some kind of obscure connection between those two things. What do you think about Valentine's Day?
Gosh, Mike. For me, love is like oxygen. You can't spell it without an X. What can you do? I have a broken heart. Two Cupids, Mike. Two Cupids walk into a bar and yell, "Shots for everybody!" Two Cupids walk into a bar. Lucky it's a Wingstop. All right. How many Cupids does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know, Chuck. How many does it?
One, Mike. They just fly up there.
That's stupid.
Mike, what's the best thing you can get married people for Valentine's Day?
A clue?
Alone time.
Oh.
Sorry, Mike. What can I do? I'm searching for
kids who were just starting out. This is called working out material.
Right. How do you know it's a gay Republican?
I don't know.
They only come out once a year. Trouble joke. What did the gay Cupid say at the straight wedding?
I don't know.
I've never seen two people in love.
Didn't know I was going to be listening to Mark Norman tonight.
What does a gay Cupid shoot, Mike?
My mind.
Vodka.
This is true.
Right. A lot of tense young people. I think no gay people in the room to get that joke.
Yeah. A gay Cupid doctor walks into a party just as one of the gay participants at this gay party collapses. He's having a heart attack, and the gay Cupid doctor runs over to him, gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, punches his chest, and finally his heart starts beating and his eyes open. And he says, "No, you just lay there for a minute. I'll have you back on your knees in no time."
Ouch.
That was oddly detailed. Sound like personal experience.
Oh my God.
I read
That
it.
joke was somewhat believable, Mike. That joke was believable. You know what isn't believable, Mike? Cupid. Cupid is more believable than Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh,
No.
You know what
nice.
Cupid is more believable than? Drew Carey's hair plugs. Okay.
Wow.
Zing. The writing team
More
has
of
been
them.
working overtime. Mike, I'm gonna hate every one of these jokes.
Let's hate them together.
Cupid is so braggadocious, Mike.
How braggadocious?
He says that he got Clark Gable that Lombardi trophy. Sorry, Mike. That joke is bogey and McCalling.
Wow.
Oh, come on. You know what Cupid's responsible for, getting Spencer Tracy that scorching case of Hepburn.
Oh.
Cupid brags a lot. Cupid brags a lot. Why he helped Desi get all loosey-goosey.
He did.
Cupid's a charmer, man. He's the one who got Angelina's. I fucked that one up. Never mind.
No, please go back and
Don't
start.
leave us hanging, please.
Don't leave us hanging. I want to know what happened to Angelina
Got
Jolie.
Lee Majors to pour out all that Farrah Fawcett.
Oh.
Don't lose heart, Chuck.
Mike, this joke is a bogey and McCall back. I gets 2 check marks. I don't even know what 2 check marks means, but that one gets 2 check marks.
Don't do in public.
Possibly the number of bowls you had before you started writing these jokes.
Thank you. Mike, one last one. Cupid is so needy.
He's needy.
Yeah. He's so needy he could have been an actress.
Oh my God.
That has a special poignancy for me, I must say.
Right.
After having to
He
deal.
wrote a lot of love songs, like Me and My Arrow.
Yeah, he did.
Shot Through the Heart.
Shot through the heart. Yeah.
Wing Beneath My Wings.
Buttons and bows.
All right. Bow and Arrow.
Oops.
BAU. Okay. Hit me with your best shot. All right, that's it. On that one.
So, you get to hear these and many other fine jokes on the apocalypse, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks.
It's February 14th. I'm with Cupid is the episode.
Yes. And I think we're expecting Jessica Misra to be on that show, whether she's or not.
Yay.
During that show, we're going to start her introduction to the show she's doing in March. So, I think it's going to be a 9-part series.
Yeah, we're gonna have to investigate all of that stuff. Jessica, she's South Asian but Catholic, and I met another guy on the open mic who is a South Asian. He was also Catholic, and it's just counterintuitive somehow. And I'm not trying.
They're taking over. It's amazing.
The South Asians or the Catholics?
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
The combo.
It's a combo.
Mhm.
Is it specifically Catholic South Asians that are taking over? Hey, you know what, Chuck? All
Like,
of the
how do you get 1,000 dead Cupids into a telephone booth?
Oh boy.
A food processor. That's not my joke.
yeah, that's what's the difference? What's the difference between 1,000 dead Cupids and a truckload of sand?
You can use a pitchfork on the dead Cupid.
Well, that is a difference. I thought there was only one.
Right? Who am I quoting? Larry wrote the Truly Tasteless Joke Books.
Oh, Larry Wilde.
Very wild, right?
Yeah,
Those were
With a name like that.
thing.
It's just possible, Ned, that it's not his real name.
Okay.
No, the difference between 1,000 dead cupids and a truckload of sand is that the cupids don't turn into glass when you run a flamethrower over them.
Do you know that for a fact?
I,
You're certain of that, Mike?
We like to fact check a lot of our comedy around here.
Yep.
Let me just
Super
ask you this
important.
question. Did we have Donald Trump for a president for the last 4 years? If that's real, this is real. So anyway, all of the performers who signed up and also showed up tonight have now performed. So we could, call it a night and send people on their merry way. And we could also turn the live YouTube off and just chat amongst the people.
Say goodnight to the YouTube people.
Yeah, and then if
Good night.